So at this point, y'all hopefully read the article. But before we get started, I was just gonna ask which person from the thing you most likely agree with and why.
I said Alexa. The baby mice got half their traits from their father and half from their mother.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just because I don't know. The other ones are actually, some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Alexa as well. I thought that it would be a mixture of the mother and the father.
Yeah. So from the other people that answered, it's kind of tricky to see which is right, but the one that was right was Alexa's, which was the baby mice got half their traits from each parent. And so why do you think hers is right, since it is the correct one?
Because we think about our mom and our dad, and we're like, oh, you have this feature of your mom, maybe your nose, or you get this hair color from your dad. So that's probably just how the reasoning I did it. I was like, it's probably a mixture of both.
And the activity today, just some traits are more dominant than others. So keep zooming in. It just makes you think about which parent was the darker mice compared to the lighter one.
Yeah. And then the information that she provided us with was just talking about production and where that comes from, and it was just saying that obviously in human production the eggs fertilize and all that stuff, and then once it becomes fertilized, each one contains half the chromosomes from its mom and its dad, and then from the chromosomes it makes a gene. So do y'all know what a gene is? In the
as in DNA, or isn't it? It's inside the cell nucleus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
it's what makes up your body.
Yeah. It's just a segment of DNA is on a chromosome, and that carries the instructions to a trait and where it gets that.
Wait, so as soon as the cell or the egg is fertilized, once that cell splits, DNA is already in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay.
Half of it.
You got that RNA, TNA.
Yeah, once it's split, each contains half.
Okay.
And so, in this situation, they're obviously focusing on the gene of, the fur color.
Mm-hmm.
And that gene is already, found in the chromosome, so once it is split, they already know what color the fur was going to be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So why are chromosomes important in the production of the mice?
Because they hold the DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was about to say the X chromosome comes from the females, and Y's come from the males, so it just depends on. Could they figure out? Well, I mean, could you determine where that trait came from? That came from your dad.
Yeah, trace it back. Mm-hmm. So then I was just saying that during the fertilization stage, it splits up obviously, and then once these chromosomes come together, this single cell of the mice results and divides, and the traits are split up equally. And so once that happens, the baby mice have its own full set of chromosomes, which is obviously half and half. And here's another question: how are the mice's characteristics ultimately produced from the chromosomes? How would a mice get its color?
Well, I know that the genotypes control the phenotypes,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess it's just the sequence of what genes are passed down determines which one's going to be dominant, which one's going to be recessive.
What's the thing that we learned in biology? Those Punnett squares.
Punnett squares.
You have to
the combination of them.
Yeah, whatever your father is, and then
Gregor Mendel.
Yeah.
Do I get extra points for that?
Yeah, that's actually my thing. Let's see. But yeah, that was next. It gets its offsprings from when the chromosomes, or the offspring gets its genes from when the chromosomes are combined. And Gregor Mendel is the one who believed that the traits could be either dominant or recessive. And a dominant trait is the one where two genes for the same trait are paired up, and then one of the genes is dominant over the other one. And the recessive is just when the dominant is not present, and the white, where the white in here would be recessive because the darker colored mice is what's present more. So yeah, Gregor Mendel was the one that came up with that. So the recessive trait here is the white. But the main idea is that the organisms, which would be the mice, traits are 50% father and 50% of its mother. So, what do you think are a common misconception that students might believe from learning about the genes?
Probably just some of the things that the other friends said on the sheet, like parents' traits like fur don't matter, nature decides.
Yeah.
They probably just think it's random or something like that. Or they think they get more from their father than their mother.
Yeah, because, I mean, depending on, like, if the father was, like, the darker mice, I would think that just because there are, I mean, well, just from the picture, there's more darker mice. But also, maybe blood type. I mean, that would be one of my misconceptions just because those are, like, blood cells. But, I mean, I know there's all different types of cells in our body.
Yeah. And that's what the information that I found was just saying that people believe that, like, one sex, like female or male, has more traits or even, like, stronger traits that would dominate, like, what is decided on what the color is. And then with, like, who is it? Like, that's what Fiona said, where she said that the...
Yeah, she said the black mice are probably male and the white baby are probably female.
And that, like, that can't be determined because there could be, like, a white mouse that's male and then another white mouse could be a female. And then Lydia's response was that nature will determine what traits the offspring has, which now we know that, like, the traits are determined by what the gene is when the chromosomes are, like, compared or, like, come together with 50%, 50%. But that's about it, but I have one more question. And as I say, does learning more about this probe change what response you had? I agree with in the beginning, which y'all both said.
Just confirms it.
Yeah. Just
confirms it.
Well,
what do you say?
Acted a little bit younger and got an answer wrong. But, yeah, no, that just, is, I mean, it's a great review because this is just a very, like, hard subject.
Confusing.
I don't like it, but...
I don't either. It's confusing.
It's difficult to wrap your mind around it.
Yeah. And, like, they all had logical answers, kind of.
Yeah.
I know. I like them.
Yeah, so...
It took me a second to answer real quick.
Yeah, I had to read them all over, but...
I was honestly going to go for the nature design. Because after we, like, learned about evolution and everything, like, nature will decide, like, what is dominant or not, depending on who lives.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different topic.
And I usually think that, like, or sometimes I think that the male has, like, one thing and the female has one thing. And that would just, like, get passed down, but it mixes it up, I guess. But that's about it, if y'all have questions.
Good.
Sweet.
Didn't cut. Hold on, I don't know how to stop it. I'm pressing the stop button.